It
I
may
had a
be.
blue. I got blue on and shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the QB Huddle podcast. I'm Tim Smith and joined by always my partner Brandon Newey to talk all things quarterback all season. But tonight we are live for a special pre-game edition to break down the upcoming Lions and Cowboys game kickoff just about 2 hours from now. We have a
Wow.
very special guest. Unfortunately, he is a Lions fan.
Never met
Ladies and
one.
gentlemen, from Jackson State, standing 6'4". I don't know how much he weighs, but he's in great shape. He's a Superman, the great arena football legend, Tennessee Titan quarterback, fourth all-time leading passer in NCAA one division history. The man, the myth, the legend, Robert Earl Kent, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the QB Huddle podcast.
Yeah.
Hey,
Love
thank
it.
you.
We
Hey,
are so happy
What's up,
to have you
teammate?
out here.
That's
So
what
let's
I'm
take a
saying,
vote.
man.
What's up, Captain?
You like that? You like that?
This is my
We
coach
like to
and
give
my
you your
teammate.
due while we're out here, for sure. I'm just going to get us set up here. I know that we are out there live. I want to make sure that the link goes out for the people. So, Robert, while we are getting things set up, tell us a little bit about yourself. You've had quite a journey. You played at Jackson State. You played in the NFL. You've played arena football at all different levels. Now you're coaching. Tell us a little bit about your journey from a little guy to where you are now.
Small town in Indianola, Mississippi, actually home of BB King. So all you blues fans out there, yeah, that's where I got all my soul from. Okay, so I'm definitely a blues guy.
Wow.
Played a
Okay.
little football growing up. I actually didn't start playing football to the 7th grade. We didn't have Pee Wee football in my hometown, so I was a baseball player and a tennis player pretty much most of my life until junior high.
Wow.
Got into football, enjoyed it. High school, we stunk up the place in football, but we had a great basketball program where we were going to state, 3 out of the 4 years I was in high school. And that last year of high school football, the trajectory changed. Yeah, trajectory, Tim.
I can't say that
Trajectory.
word very well. Leave me
uh,
alone.
yeah, I ended up getting Steve McNair's former college coach. His name was Ricky Taylor. He came in my senior
Yes.
year and changed some things for me. We
Love
went
it.
from barely averaging 1,000 yards passing a game to I had almost 3,000 yards my senior season and made the playoffs for the first time in like 16 years.
Wow.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That,
Congratulations on
Oh,
that.
yeah.
that kind of opened up the door. Coach Robert Hughes, Lord rest his soul, he came to my home in Indianola, sat at my kitchen table, and offered me a scholarship to come play football at Jackson State, and I couldn't turn it down.
You
That's
just couldn't
awesome, man.
turn that down. Why not?
I could not. It wasn't too far from home, but it was far enough. Being a small town kid, you want to get out there and see the big city, and Jackson was a big city for me.
Okay.
And, got to Jackson State, and things kind of propelled from there. There was some 2 first rounders there when I first got there. A guy named Sylvester Morris and a guy named Rashard Anderson. God rest his soul. They both went 21 and 23, if I'm not mistaken, in the draft, first round that year. So
Oh my
we had
goodness.
NFL scouts there, and
You had a team.
yeah, it was big time.
Makes it easy when you got that squad, huh? Just deliver the
And,
mail, do your job.
and all look, I was a scout team guy, so I was getting snot knocked out of my nose during practice.
Hey, but sometimes as a scout team player, man, you know damn well you're trying to show up and show out every day on them. You have to get them. You have to at least get a couple.
Every oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. But the thing is, those guys taught me so much. Being a young guy, not understanding the work ethic that it needed to get to that level. They instilled a work ethic in me my freshman year that I carried on throughout my career. My first offensive coordinator, a guy named John Shannon, kind of did not play. He was a hard-nosed coach. He got on me when I did things wrong. He got on me when I did things right because he expected excellence.
Right.
And I appreciate that. Dealing with the kids I work with now, some of the players that I've been players that in my life that I pass, and that's how I am. It's just outwork you. That's how I look at it.
Straight
If I
up.
can outwork you, I can go play.
Straight up.
Well, you've always been a worker. I am lucky enough to have coached both of you guys. I say coached. We'll say that just because that was my job. But Robert, I got to work with you and Brandon. We have all won championships together. Well, at least I've won one with Brandon. I've won one with you. I've had great relationships with both of you over the years. It's been a joy to get to know the both of you. You guys are both such high quality people on and off the field, and you are doing great things. You're teaching high school and coaching high school football. Where are you coaching right now?
Hey, let me switch it up.
Switch it up.
Go ahead and
He's
get it
got
on
all
there,
kinds of
man.
hats. Okay.
At the Rams, Berkner, man.
You heard
Shout out to them boys. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
You just had Akeem on the show.
Yup.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
I said, you know what? Let me make sure I represent for the herd. Let everybody know these Berkner Rams are in the place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy thing is,
this year.
yeah, he's one of my QB's guys, QB coach. So what better thing to have there? What better coach to have, right? Guy who's been there, done that, right?
Man,
Can keep him calm on the field.
I tell C4 all the time. I said, dude, you got the best of both worlds. I know the knowledge that Brandon has and the things that I've come across and learned as a quarterback, to instill in him just the in-depth of the game and what to look for and how the game should be played. He doesn't have to hesitate him knowing that he's going to get some of the best coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking forward to his senior year after
Absolutely.
he came back from an injury at the beginning of the year from practice. So he missed the first 2 games. When he got back in there, he went 4-0, ended up getting to his 5th game against Highland Park, ended up tearing his ACL. And, that kind of threw us threw a monkey wrench in our plan. We were still able to make the playoffs, but to go into the playoffs with your 3rd string quarterback, not even your 2nd string quarterback, missing that starter, it hurt a little bit. So I'm looking forward to next year.
Yeah.
Okay, I bet you.
Yeah, and he had such. I remember the game I was at. It was a homecoming, not his homecoming, but it was against what was it? North Richlands? Was that it?
Well,
the game he threw like 6 touchdowns, bro.
Yeah, Lake Highlands. Yeah,
man, that just had a smile on my face.
About that. Yeah,
dude, it's when you're that quarterback, and you and I both know, and Tim as well. Like, there's that one game that just clicks. Everything is just like it feels like you can't miss. Yes. Right. And that's what you saw. You saw that growth from him. And it was, man, kudos to you, that coaching staff, man, putting him in great situations to shine, man. It helps he's got a good cast. He's just got to deliver the mail. That's it.
That's it. And that's what I tell him. I said, dude, he runs a 23-200. And I said, guy, when you want to run, just go north and south. Other than that, we're going to sit back there in that pocket and let it fly.
And let it.
Because when I say he has a cannon, he has a cannon.
Yes, he can throw it, man. He can throw it.
He's awesome. Well, he couldn't have a better quarterback trainer and quarterback coach than the 2 of you. So he's in great hands. A bright future ahead for sure. Now, Robert, you're a little bit on the older side. We won't divulge that, but you're going to pull a Joe Flacco this year, a Tom Brady this year. You're going to play football once again in arena for the Fort Worth Bulls. The last time you did so, we won a championship up in North Carolina. We whooped them boys good, I would say. Tell us what is forcing you or making you think, I want to go play football again and I want to do it for the Bulls here at home.
Tim, I think both of you can attest to this. When you're a competitor and God has given you the ability to continue to go out there and compete, you go out there and compete.
Sure.
And that's kind of what it is. I tell my high school kids, I'm going to outwork you guys. Coach, you 30 years older than us. You're not going to outwork us. But I got in there and squatted 315 the other day, and a lot of them kind of opened up their
315.
eyes. Like, hey.
Superman.
Yeah, man. So in my mind, it's more of I feel like I got one last shot. I can do it at home. I can invite the kids to come out and watch me play. My family gets to come see me play one more time. And just the opportunity to go out there and finish the year how I want to finish the year. Last couple of years, I didn't finish the way I wanted to. Get an opportunity to finish.
Go on your own terms.
Yeah.
Right on my own terms.
It's definitely better.
I feel like I heard all this a couple of years back when we won the league. And then you kind of went into coaching. And then you said, you know what? Maybe I want to play some more because I'm better than the guys I'm coaching. I've been there. It caused me a horrific injury to my shoulder. I'm so grateful for you that you are still healthy and out there doing what you love to do, man. Play till the wheels fall off. Why not?
Do it.
And I don't want to be the one that say I wish I could have or I
It's
should have
true.
done this.
Absolutely.
And that'll eat you alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eat you
Yeah.
alive for
Okay.
sure.
Man, can't
Man,
wait to come see you play some games. Can't wait. You're in the
so
NAL this year, and the Bulls are in a big league, and so it's a big responsibility. They got a veteran quarterback, certainly the favorites to win that league under Victor Mann, who has done nothing but win in arena football. So it's going to be a great year for you guys. What were you going to say, Brandon? I'm sorry.
So I hate to say, I mean, OC4 is on the podcast here. He's in the live chat, and I know you quoted him in that 23-200. He did say 21-9.
He said 21.9.
Oh,
that dude's lightning. Jesus.
So I apologize to my quarterback. So I hope everybody understands that's a quarterback saying that now.
He's rolling.
So one more thing, Robert, to tell the folks, you are hosting. I know Brandon and I are both going to be a part of this. We're very excited to work with you here, but you're going to be hosting an arena-style combine coming up in January. Tell the folks about that so the young athletes know where to go.
Yes, professional athletes, guys who are still in college, I'm sorry. Don't want you guys to lose that eligibility, but you guys who still want the opportunity to learn the indoor or arena game, January 27th at Berkner High School, at the high school that I coach at our MAC indoor facility, we'll be hosting the first annual Legends of the Game, because I plan to have like you guys there who are legends of the indoor game, arena game, and so many other guys that I know I've come across and crossed paths with in the past that are coming out to support. And I just want all the athletes to show up, because there are going to be a lot of coaches there who are looking for talent and guys that are be able to teach you the game, because the indoor game, you can play a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can attest to that. The more that you know about the game and how the game works, because it's a lot faster, so the fields are a lot smaller. It's a lot more fan-based entertainment. You know, it's family-friendly. And again, once you understand how the game is being played, you can have that ability for longevity in the indoor game.
Right.
Very good.
It is a fast game. My goodness.
Yes.
Well, we're looking forward to that. So, guys, keep an eye out for that combine. I'm sure there'll be flyers and information. There's already been some stuff on the social media about it. So look out for that from Robert Kent here as we host that combine coming up soon for you athletes looking for a place to play. But tonight, we are here for a reason.
Let me change it up one more time.
Oh my God. Why am I even on this show?
I don't know why. You know what? I don't know why we invited a 49er fan on the show.
Why? Like, I'm just looking at y'all like.
Because you're the co-host. You're a co-host. You got to be here. Hey, tonight, the Detroit Lions are in town for a special Saturday night engagement with the Dallas Cowboys. A little history before we get into it. The Cowboys and the Lions have played 27 times. The Cowboys lead the series 16-11. We last played October of last year, where the Cowboys won here in Dallas 24-6. Detroit was a different team then. We've played 3 times in the postseason. We've won 2 of them. I was at one of the games. Tony Romo was absolutely magical in that game. He threw the winning touchdown to Jason Witten. I'll never forget it because I was up in the corner, second level, and we were kind of behind the play. And I'll never forget him throwing the ball, realizing Jason Witten gets into the end zone. Sorry, Robert. And Romo's on the ground, face first, and he's pounding his hands on the ground because he knows it's a touchdown. It's,
Tim,
it's the best moment.
I want to say I actually met Tony Romo when he played college ball up in Eastern
Illinois. Yes, Eastern Michigan. Yes, sir.
My cousin, one of my first cousins, name is Courtney Young. He played defensive back for Eastern Illinois, and I ended up getting the opportunity to go up there and watch them play. And I was like, dude, who is that quarterback y'all got? Man, dude's pretty good. That was my first time ever seeing Tony Romo play football live and in person.
Really?
So, you know, I'm a Tony fan unless he's playing against the Lions.
The Lions. Well, you see the jersey on my wall. I mean, I'm a Tony Romo guy through and through. He's one of my favorite all-time quarterbacks, and I get a lot of flack for it, but that's okay. But first, let's go into this game now. Let's discuss the importance of the game for both the Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys. The Detroit, obviously, in the playoff picture is fighting for that number 2 spot. They're really not going to get below. I don't think they could lose the 3 spot. But, Robert, start with you. How important is this to your Detroit Lions tonight?
I think it's a mindset. That's how important it is. It's because we're looking at this game as a playoff game, because the last playoff game we actually played, I want to say, was against the Cowboys.
Yep.
And it was a L.
Was that 9 years ago?
Did not go well.
It did not go well. So we're looking at this game as a playoff game. I think a lot of people are thinking that the Lions are going to lay down. They've already clinched their division. They're just going to go out there and just play the game. No, 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 no. We have something to prove tonight. You know, the Cowboys' rush defense is not the best in the league, and we have two running backs right now that have almost averaging 1,000 yards with Gibbs and Montgomery. And I just need Goff to manage the game. If Goff can manage the game, Brandon.
That's it. Y'all gonna roll them.
Easy. We're gonna get into the keys of the game now. So you think this is a playoff game for Detroit? Yes. If they lose tonight, does that affect the mindset as they enter into the playoffs of we lost to a playoff team on the road? Does that enter into the mindset at all, do you think?
I think their mindset is all the teams that the Cowboys have beat that are above five. How many teams have they beat that are above 500?
Two.
Maybe two. Yeah. So this is where that comes into play.
Seattle was borderline. Borderline.
We can't allow the Cowboys to get this victory against us because they've only beat two teams that are above 500.
Okay, gotta get it done.
I mean, that's one fair. Of the things.
That's fair. Right. How about you, Brandon? You can talk about both teams here. What's the importance of the game for the Lions and the Cowboys in your mind?
The importance for the game for the Lions is keeping Goff up. I think if Dallas stops the run and they can get to Goff, things can get bad. I mean, he has been known to turn the ball over multiple times in games, and regarding if it's interceptions or it's fumbles, I think that if they can maintain a good job, establish that run game, get Jared Goff to play action, your passing defense isn't that good. You guys rely on a lot of turnovers. So if you can create the turnovers, obviously you can run away with this. But if you can't get to Goff and he's executing at a high level, it might get ugly, man. But you guys are 7-0, 7-0 at home, right? 3-5 on the road. Yeah. That's the key. And you're on turf, so it's a little different. But both teams are used to being indoors.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
They're both both teams are used to being indoors.
This is a fair weather game.
Sure. It's a playoff game to me.
Importance why I think this game's more important to Dallas than it is to Detroit, because Detroit is going to be in the 2 or 3 seed. I think they're going to get into that 2 seed because I just have a feeling even if they lose tonight, that they'll win next week. I think the Eagles are going to drop a game to the Giants. I just have a funny feeling that that's going to happen in 2 weeks. But regardless, the Cowboys, I think it's about mental for them. I think they're going to be stuck in that 5th seed no matter what. So you say if they lose the game, it doesn't hurt them. No, it doesn't, but it's mental at this point, right? Sure. We went on the road. Sure. We got blew out to Buffalo. We went on the road. We played tight with Miami defensively, but then we it takes us till the 4th quarter to do something offensively, which is great. Dak shows up in the final drive, but then defense gives up, to the Dolphins right down the field, and we lose the game. So now we can't win a game on the road, and we're going to be on the road in the playoffs. So this is a huge game for us to beat a good team, a very good, strong team in the Detroit Lions. So for me, this game is more important to Dallas, and that's why I think. Well, I'll leave that for later, but I think that this game is more important to Dallas from a mindset standpoint because the Lions know they're a good team, although. I'll say this, Robert, your Lions have been a little bipolar this year. Like sometimes we don't know what to expect from them, particularly when they're away from Detroit. So
this is very true.
What do you think accounts for that? Where does the bipolarness come from?
It's really hard to say. It just seems like when I have full trust in Goff, he goes out there and poops the bed on me.
Oh no.
And I think that's kind of where the outlier is. He's the one that kind of gets us going. The run game sustains us. The run game puts points on the board for us. But if he can get the ball out of his hand and get the ball into some of our playmakers' hand, that changes us as a team.
Yep.
Because we know
he's going to dart you.
Yeah.
We just need him to go out there and manage the game well.
Yeah. Here's the thing too, man. Dallas is coming off of back-to-back losses, and their comfort zone is home, right? So they're gonna be anxious to win this game.
Yeah.
Right. If not, it's gonna be a tough battle going on the road. And I feel, Detroit's won some close games. They just put 42 on Denver. They just had a really good matchup versus Minnesota, and that's one of the top defenses that nobody talks about. Stingy defense. I think if they keep Goff healthy, man, I think they blow y'all out. It might be funny. Oh, it's it. I mean,
Okay, it's not going to be funny.
it'd be funny to me because all you got to do is go in
key.
your Christmas tree and then look at that little ornament I had right for Christmas.
Here's
Just reflect
the
on
key.
it.
The key for me is the rushing game. I think that if we can't control the run game, and we did a good job a week ago, I felt in Miami.
What happened to the following week though? 266 yards. Oh my lord!
We got smashed by Cook
against a guy who really never ran over 130 the whole year.
I know, so it worries me. Right, you've got a couple really good running backs there. If we can slow down the run game, that puts a target on Goff's back. I don't think Goff is as an effective of a quarterback without the run game and the play action. I think
agree.
We've seen that in LA. We've seen that in Detroit. So that's the key for us. Stop the run game first. We stop the run game, our defense can tee off. And that would be, and then that's when we get turnovers and things like that. If you guys start gashing us in the run, we got problems because we don't have a run game to counter.
Honestly, I think offensively, I think we should rely on screens a little bit more. With the running backs,
so aggressive in that D line,
yes, that
so
D-line,
aggressive.
They get upfield, and he doesn't have to throw the ball downfield. Just get it out your hand, get it to the running backs, let the line get out in front, and let's go get some yards. Those are still passing yards,
right?
And that gives him a little more confidence, knowing that I'm slowing this rush down by this screen game, and that rush is not going to pin their ears back because if they pin their ears back, I'd hit them underneath with a screen.
Yes.
Or let's draw. Let's run a couple draws. Let's run a couple counters just to get them rushing upfield. And again, I'm not sure I'm not sure if they're gonna call me this week for a few offensive plays, but I'm ready if they do.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you who scares me on your defense is Hutch from Michigan. He scares me.
He's a monster. He's a dog.
He's a game changer. He's a game record.
We got my young gun, James Houston. He's back this week.
Oh boy. So the Lions are loaded. So put yourself, Robert, on the coaching staff of the Dallas Cowboys. All right.
Gotcha.
We know what they have to do defensively. From an offensive standpoint, what's it going to take for Dallas to have success against your Detroit Lions tonight?
They're gonna have to find a way to run the ball.
We haven't done that all year.
Last year with Zeke and Pollard, I think people kind of miss the ideal of don't want to run one back into the ground. When you got one good running back, a solid running back, and you continue to run them to the ground, it's a long season. Those hits add up.
AKA 49ers do that to CMC.
Yeah, they do.
They're going to run them in the ground in 2-3 years, bro.
And guess what? He's going to be like, hey, where's my help? And right now, I don't think Pollard has the help that he needs.
Yep. And you got Waddle out tonight.
Yes.
He's out. Tyron Smith's questionable. Might get ugly, Tim.
Yeah. And real good ball right now.
It could get ugly tonight. I'm gonna put my cards on the table. I was gonna go to the game tonight. My wife and I decided we were gonna go ahead and buy tickets and have a little celebration tonight and go to the game. And then they lost to the Dolphins, and then tonight's game didn't mean as much, obviously, because the number 2 seed is gone. And so I said, "The hell with that! I'm not spending $2,000 to go to the Cowboys game tonight because they might lose. I'm going to stay home. If they lose, I can."
Jerry's taking your money. God,
Jerry's like, "Come on, let's go." She was like,
"Well, because if I'm going to go to the game, I'm not going to sit up top."
Man, you better go in them standing seats to watch this BS.
No, if I'm going to go to the game, I'm going to sit. Hey, thank you guys that are tuning in to the show right now. If you want to jump in the comments, who do you think is going to win? What are your keys to the game tonight? Jump in. We'll certainly love to interact with you. But thanks for checking in to our show. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We're live every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock moving forward from now until the end of the playoffs. So we'll have a lot of special guests too. Andre Coles is going to join us, the head coach from the Frisco Fighters. We'll have Mark Clayton back on the show, number 1 draft pick of the Baltimore Ravens, and stud wide receiver from Oklahoma, just the absolute beast. We're going to have Aqib Talib on our show at one point to discuss a defensive standpoint of quarterbacks and things like that. And, of course, Robert, you're always invited back to the show.
Always.
So, always, whenever you have the time.
Got to keep this all-star cast rolling, man.
Open invitation. I'm ready, brothers.
Absolutely.
Yes,
so let's get into the hot topics, right? We always do hot topics every Tuesday. This isn't going to be as beefy as usual, but we want to get some time in here before we make our picks for tonight. So Russell Wilson benched in Denver. I feel like this is something that we just can't not talk about.
It sucks.
It's obviously a business decision. Robert, you're an older quarterback. You're playing football, and your organization comes to you and says, hey, you're doing great. Your numbers are right up there, top 10 of the league. You've won a bunch of games. We're in the playoff hunt, but we're going to sit you down because that $37 million is going to hit different. How do you feel?
Evidently, I wasn't the guy I wasn't the guy for you guys anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do as a quarterback, and you decide to go in a different direction. And it comes from the coaching change. You know, I can't say that any other way. It was a coaching change. Now that Sean Payton's in there, Sean wants to do things his way. He wants the offense to run his way. And Russell, and like Brandon said earlier, each one of them have won Super Bowl. You know, so
I'm just saying.
I appreciate it, but Coach. I have a couple tools in my
and been to two.
And Russell's been to two.
Yes, been to two.
Sean's been to one. So
and should have won that second one, even though I'm a Tom Brady fan.
Just hand the ball off. Just hand the ball off.
Not a good call.
Give me my money.
Right.
So, Brees, man. Brees Reese jumped in and said, I need my money.
That was a great game. I was so happy.
Yeah, it's in that day. It sucks, man, that he gets the raw end of that deal. You know, when they honestly had potential to make the playoffs just from that 4 or 5 game run that they made in the middle of the season. And then now to go from playing to being benched, you know, he's going to be a professional. He's going to do what he's supposed to do as a professional. But as a quarterback, especially as a black quarterback, and know how it feels to be looked upon as the person who can't get a job done, but he's getting a job done and he's still getting sat down, you know, that hurts a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brandon, how do you feel about it? I mean, you've played for really top organizations. Imagine the Thunder come to you at the end of a year where maybe you're scratching to get into the playoffs. They say, Brandon, we're going to go ahead and sit you down for the rest of the year. How do you feel about that?
I don't like it, but I'm not going to rearrange my contract because it's what we agreed upon. You know, especially if I won 6 out of 9 games. Continuing this stretch, even in a new offense, a new coach, a whole new structure coming into place, and I still managed to get some things done, you're not going to restructure that. I mean, do I feel I feel this contract was very overvalued to begin with, and this is where we are, right? So if you're getting Russ is not putting up MVP numbers. Russ has had some hiccups this year, right? That's frustrated the coach. We're not just saying he's playing perfect.
Lights out.
Yeah. I mean, he's had his moments. People say he's washed, he's lost his step. I don't think so. I think he's trying to do something a little different from what he's not accustomed to doing, and he's adapting, and he's doing very well. He's a good leader. He may be a cornball, but at the end of the day, you know he's gonna lay his armor out there. He's gonna die on the shield regardless.
I'm just saying, like we said earlier, there are a couple quarterbacks who got some nice hefty paydays that are not playing right now.
Absolutely.
Not playing, right.
Absolutely.
As a fan,
they're mediocre numbers too. Majority of them. It's kind of pathetic.
I didn't play at the level of either one of you, but I would say as a fan, I'm going to take it from a fan perspective. I hate it when players hold out, right? You know, for big money and don't play. I hate it when they hold themselves out of the game because their pinky hurts or their toe hurts. And, you know, it's just, we're out of the playoff contention. I'm not going to play this game. I hate it because maybe I bought tickets to go to the game to see that particular player, and now that player is not playing. Maybe that player gives my team a chance to win that game, and now he's not playing. But now you have the organization doing that, right? And as a fan that maybe has season tickets or maybe flies across the country once a year to go to a Broncos game to see my guy, Russell Wilson, play, and now you're sitting him down. As a fan, I take that as a slap in the face because you're not, number one, you're not putting your best foot forward to win the game. Number two, you're sitting down your franchise quarterback, right, that you went out and got. So I'm glad we all agree. I think it's a rough deal for Russ. I hope that he gets released next year to go play somewhere else. There's plenty of teams that would take him. Pittsburgh, New England. Steelers. I like him in New England. I think I like him there, but because New England's a mess. But Pittsburgh, I could see as well.
I feel Pittsburgh is more his flow, man, because of the coach. Him and Pete Carroll and Tomlin, they're kind of similar.
They talked about Chicago the other day. If Chicago lets go of Justin Fields, which I hope they don't do, but
keep
we'll see what
Justin.
happens. So we're not going to roundtable this.
Out there. Can you believe
What's that?
You might
Miami.
Name up. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
you're not
hey.
going to get rid of Tua.
I mean, but he's a safer, like as far as like an insurance policy, like we know Russ is going to play.
We know that.
We're all like freaking like holding our breath when Tua gets hit.
Well, that's true.
The dude had a seizure on the field.
I know. Credit to Tua. He's been healthy all year.
So yeah, credit to him, man. But it's just I don't know, man. I feel like if they step in the playoffs and they're only a one and done, it's kind of the same thing over and over again. It's insanity. And Tua's on a rookie deal. Do you sign him? Because you got to think at the end of the year, Tua's going to be what, 50, 60 million dollars? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, but you can't. I mean, the market is what the market is. It's just like it's the same situation we talked about with.
I
with
hate
the
it, man.
Long hair Prince down in Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence. You don't want to have to pay him $60 million, but you have to because
you got to.
He's your franchise quarterback, right? I mean, you're not going to get someone necessarily better than him, so you got to ride with what you have.
And like Akeem was saying, man, I mean, who else is going to take it? I don't think there's anybody out there better than Trevor Lawrence at this moment. Like, and one thing I admire about him, he continues to play through a lot of injuries.
Yeah,
he's like, screw it. Like so he's tough as nails, right?
Yeah,
so you got to give him credit. You got to have tough quarterbacks, right?
For sure.
So where does Justin Fields land next year?
Keep his ass in Chicago.
Yeah,
stay.
They got a good defense they're building with. Him and DJ Moore got that connection.
You bring in Marvin Harrison Jr. You build the O line a little bit.
Build that O line up.
Running back. You get a little bit more. They fixed the defense this year. The defense has been playing lights out here at the end of the year. So the Bears have a chance to compete. They have, I don't know, $100 million in cap money to spend next year. So they're in a good spot.
If they want.
I feel like,
and you ain't got to sign Justin Fields to a long-term extension.
Yeah, if you get
keep your money, keep your money loaded. Load the team up for him.
Yeah, load the team up for Justin. Definitely, I think
it makes him look good because Justin has an arm. He's an athlete. He can run around and make plays. Put him in position to be successful. That the rift about the play calling, hey, fix it, get it out.
Simplify it for him. Simplify it. That's your job.
He's every bit as physically gifted as Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and he needs somebody to help bring that out in him because he's got all the tools to be incredible. Agreed. Like maybe the best athletic quarterback we've ever seen because of how large he is, right? And how fast he is and how strong his arm is. But they need an offensive guy in there. They need an offensive, maybe Robert, maybe you need to apply. I need you to apply. And Brandon, I need you to put out a call and maybe, fly up to Chicago, personal trainer, and maybe that will change the game for Justin Fields. What do we think?
I see three guys that can go up there and make it happen.
I like it. Let's just package deal. Let's make it work. Let's get into this just a little bit now. Brandon and I have talked about this on a couple different shows, so this is just for you, Robert. Cam Newton, we all know, has come out and, kind of went out and said that these ex-quarterbacks were game managers. Now, my feeling, and Brandon and I kind of agree with this, is that every quarterback in the NFL for the history of time has been a game manager. You have to manage the game.
That's your
right
job.
Now, can a game manager become a game changer before snap, after snap? Absolutely, right? Just, sometimes it's with the mind, sometimes it's with the arm, the legs, whatever. My thing is bus driver is the real derogatory term. That's the guy that you're going to hand off the ball about 40 times. You're going to throw a couple play actions. You're going to throw a couple slants and screens, but please don't throw the ball to the other team. Please don't fumble the snap. Rex Grossman's a perfect example of a bus driver, right? With the Bears that went to the Super Bowl and lost to Peyton Manning. So I'm going to leave it to you. Where are you at with bus driver, game manager? How do you feel about the quarterbacks that were called game managers? And do you feel like game manager is a derogatory term?
I can't say game manager is a derogatory term because they are in the NFL. You got to be doing something right to be in the NFL and to be either starting or playing on somebody's team in the NFL. So I give them, I don't want to say derogatory term, but there are times when you need a game changer, and especially at the quarterback position. A game manager can get you down the field at times, may kick a field goal, may have to punt, put your defense back out there, get you a little closer, hopefully get a field goal. But a game changer, he's going to go score a touchdown for you. So me, playing the quarterback position, my mindset is always to be a game changer. win, lose, or draw, the game is in your hands as a quarterback.
Balls in your hand every play.
They say bus driver. Yeah, you can probably say bus driver because the bus driver is a person who's making all the stops. Bus driver is a person who's letting people on and off the bus. So yeah, I can roll with that term, but I'm a big proponent of a game changer. I need a person that's going to go out there and win the game for me. There are only a few 45 seconds left on the clock, one timeout. I need you to go win this game for me.
Yep.
So the two of you are great examples because both great quarterbacks, both game changers, in my opinion, both great game managers because both of you could get us from a bad play to a good play. Robert, you called majority of your own plays in the arena game, so you are certainly a fantastic game manager because you have to be. But you're a game changer. Both of you are game changers pre-snap because you can pre-snap read very well. You can make that decision. You can make a change at the line of scrimmage. You can change protection, change a route. And then you're both game changers post-snap in different ways. Brandon is a little bit more athletic. He can jump out of the pocket. He could run for 70 yards, or he could go on one foot and throw it 80 yards across the field, where you are going to see that guy open and anticipate so quickly and the ball's out of your hand. Touchdown before they even know what hit him. So, and Brandon has that in him too. But what I love about it is it's the perfect example, right, of two guys that play the game somewhat differently, but are both game changers and dynamic football players. So I love that we have you on the show to be able to display that for folks.
All right, so quick question.
Just hear that. Yeah.
Why did we not have any teams that were pursuing Lamar Jackson, who is a game changer, who now has his team as the best team in the NFL?
Talk.
Who nobody wanted to give him the
opportunity
to come and start for their team.
I think there was one reason only. I think it was
his own agent.
Well, no, I think it was part of that was him being his own agent, but I think it was the how vocal he was about wanting that guaranteed money up front and all that coming off of an injury. I felt like teams were kind of scared of that. And I think that's the only thing that held the team up from making the move.
Tim, I came out in 2004 with that quarterback class. I remember a guy named Eli Manning who told the Chargers, do not draft
I'm not coming.
Yeah. So, hey, kudos to the Manning family. I've worked at Manning camps before. I know those guys, met those guys.
I'm not coming.
I'm not coming.
I'm not coming.
Draft me if you want to.
A quarterback who's a former MVP who showed people coming out of Louisville that no, I'm not going to be a receiver. I can play quarterback in the NFL.
And he didn't run the 40. And we know how fast he is.
Show this. But then you still tell me he's not good enough to offer a long-term contract and say, hey, come and lead our team?
I don't have the answer. I was trying to give you the best excuse I could come up with as to why no one would reach out to him. That was, either that or Baltimore had, look, these guys have backroom conversations. You're aware of that. Baltimore might have told everybody, hey, you're not getting Lamar. Stay away. We're gonna get the
absolutely.
deal done. That might have been a backroom thing where
he's like, Baltimore, man.
Don't even bother.
I can't see him in any other uniform.
Baltimore was not going to let him go. They didn't want to pay him the guaranteed money, but they weren't going to let him go. No. So, all right, let's move on because we're going to stay with this Cam Newton thing because something happened last week that was a little disturbing, and I felt was a little bit below Cam Newton. He was tweeting directly to Brock Purdy during his 4-interception game because he felt vindicated about his game manager comments and was getting a lot of backlash. I'm going to start with Mr. 49er fan Brandon Newey. How'd that make you feel?
Unbothered. Because, and just like Brock Purdy, unbothered. I mean, we've all played this game, man. And tip passes happen. It's just, it sucks. It's one of those things. I'm not talking about the pit.
How do you feel about Cam Newton tweeting out your quarterback validation that says he's a game manager?
He's not a game changer. I like him that he's a game manager, but he damn sure is a game changer. Because the second he stepped on the field, they start averaging 30-something points a game. We've never seen that in Shanahan's time, right? I mean, he has weapons. He has weapons. We get it. Is he limited to a degree? Yeah, he's learning, right? But the fact that he can wiggle out of things, get in and out of good plays, make the right decision, throw with pinpoint precision. The guy still had a shitty game, and he's still number one in several categories. That just shows you how effective he is. So if that's not a game changer, he just does it at a different thing. It's not flashy. It's not fancy, right? He doesn't have the biggest arm, right? But his mental game was ridiculous.
Well, he
It's
must
ridiculous.
be on Cam's mind
And
because Cam's sitting there watching the game and he's tweeting out, and I'm guessing that's because he took so much backlash. What do you think, Robert? Why was Cam tweeting out what he was to Brock during that horrific game?
It was a backlash. I mean, no other words for it. It was a backlash. The thing is that we all have been in that position where we have bad games.
It's just like, holy shit, this is bad. And it gets away from you so fast.
I had a I tell my kids, I had a 6 interception college football game. And
oh my Lord!
By 13.
How many tips was that though? How many tips was that?
It was raining.
It just goes through the hand. You're like, oh my God.
Yes.
So, it doesn't matter. A pick is a pick.
Hey man,
no, it's not.
Games, and it just so happened to be on a big stage, one of the biggest stages.
Yeah.
And everybody has their opinion. We all have our opinion.
Yeah.
If we were, the status of Cam Newton and we tweeted anything about Taylor Swift in the audience or Kelsey or Mahomes, it would always be blown up. So, the biggest thing is Brock knows what he can do. And for him to worry about what anybody has to say, we're quarterbacks. Yeah. Everything rolls off our shoulders like
period.
That. So how can we let, another quarterback who's done some amazing things in the NFL allow us to deter us from doing what we want to do in the future? Because Brock has a right. Yeah. What is it? Year 2, 3?
Yeah, it's year 2, and he's 23 years old. Just turned 24. Like, dude, he's gonna be fine.
I'll tell you what. If I'm Brock Purdy, if I say anything at all, it's, hey man, you're waiting for a call. I'm about to play in the playoffs, so you can call me whatever you want to call me.
Cam's had multiple interception games. He's had a 4 interception game before as well. So everybody goes through it, man. It's just keep going, man. It's how do you put it behind you? Now going into this, after you have that game, is your confidence lost? Because we've all had contemplate like, shit, man, what am I doing wrong? Right? So going into this next game, let's see how he comes back from it.
And let's
just
one
see.
thing social media has done to us. It's allowed us to see what somebody says or has to say about us. And if we allow that to sink into us, that's going to change our dynamics. Because you always want to do what's right. And when you have a person who's played at that high level, who's kind of sending some degrading remarks towards you, it may hit you a little differently. But as quarterbacks, in the NFL, you got to go out there and play each snap. That those snaps are gone. I can't worry about that.
Short-term memory, man. You got to move on.
They're not coming back.
Shit didn't even happen. Just keep going.
Right.
Didn't even happen.
Just keep throwing. I love that he kept throwing even after that happened. I was like, dude, you're still throwing darts. Yeah. It's just like, all right, man, you're going to be all right.
You have to.
Everybody's had one of those games. Now, if it becomes a habit, then you're like, shit. All right, how do I pull him back? And I think Kyle, even the play calling just looked a little bit different to what our scheme was. You've got to be able to pull a quarterback back when you see that. Even if it's not his fault, it's like, okay, let's establish the run a little bit more. Let's sink these guys in. Let's get you more one-on-one opportunities outside of throwing in tight end breaking routes. Like, that's tough, man. The throws he makes are really tough throws to a degree, especially.
You think they were asking too much?
I think they were. I think Kyle was really trying to force the MVP on Brock. And I was like, that's not his game. He's not going to throw 40 times a game. He's going to give you 23 of 27, 270-something yards, maybe a 300-yard game, and 3+ touchdowns a game. And he doesn't turn the ball over. But why doesn't he do that? Is because the run is so effective. With Debo running the sweeps, we didn't run a damn jet sweep the whole time. With those toss stretches, with the zone switch, like, come on, man. We got out of our game.
Yes, you did.
Damn, it has pissed me off again.
Now we got Brandon fired up.
Hey,
come on, man.
You should have called him and said, like, Kyle, what are you doing?
Right.
Yeah, like, Kyle, stop being so damn cute, man. Get your ass. Call your daddy. Run the ball. Run the ball.
Okay, so let's tell the future a little bit. Let's be some future tellers. The wild card teams in the playoffs this year. Let's start in the NFC. And I'm not talking about these top, 1 to 3, 1 to 4 teams. I want to know, Robert, with you, the NFC team that you fear the most that might come in at the 7th or 8th, 6th seed. What team scares you the most in the NFC right now, outside of your Detroit Lions, of course?
Honestly, I'm going to say the Buccaneers.
They
kind of flown under the radar with Baker down there.
They play good on the way now.
Man,
Baker's on fire.
He's been lighting it up. After getting washed out in Cleveland, to get an opportunity to go down there in Tampa Bay and kind of rebuild himself as a
Love it.
quarterback, as a starting quarterback, man, they're a little scary.
Love
they
it.
have some offensive weapons. They still play good defense.
Yep.
So it's
Hey, they're
they're one of the teams that's flying under the radar that nobody talks about, but it's actually right now I think they're sitting in the maybe fourth seed in the NFC.
Yeah, they're sitting at fourth right now.
They're going to be at the fourth. Yeah.
So
they're a 500 team though.
We're going to have to go play them. So
they're just barely over 500.
Hey,
so who's it for you, Brandon? Who makes you nervous?
Hold on, but I do remember a Super Bowl team in the New York
Giants.
that
they did it twice. They did it twice.
Stunk up the place and won Super Bowl.
And to attest to what you're saying, when these teams catch hot fire in December, they're normally the teams that go, right? And so another hot team that is just playing fearless ball is the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford in the last 5 games or 4 games has had 10 touchdowns and no picks. It's a pretty damn good run for him, right? Now he's got an actual running game the Rams hadn't had a running game since Todd Gurley.
Yeah.
And now they have that with Kyron Williams, right? That's a scary team. I'm looking forward to that matchup next week because, I mean, that's the tell of the tale. Are we going to get the number 1 seed or are we going to have to play the Rams again back-to-back weeks? Because it could happen. Just like Seattle last year.
It could, but
it could.
If the season ended today and if your Lions, Robert, stay in the 3rd seed, you will host Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles
Wow,
Rams.
what a story.
Hey, listen,
that's a story.
The kid comes back.
Definitely be a story. The kid comes back.
That'd be a heck of a game. Yeah, I tell you what, I'm with Brandon. Although I've been on Baker's train all year, I'm a big Baker Mayfield fan. I think the Buccaneers are doing great things. They do scare me to have to play them first, but the Rams to me are the most explosive lower tier wild card team right now, and a team that is starting to get a little hot, kind of like the Browns, and it makes me nervous because they've been there. They've been there, done that. Quarterback is one. They still have Aaron Donald on the team. They still have the same coach. I mean, they continue to stay hot. They're going to be scary.
They got a run game. That's the difference.
That's who worries me. Yeah, and they have a run game now, which helps out an aging quarterback. And they have 2 really good receivers. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and they're younger.
You know, in the playoffs, run the ball and play defense in the playoffs. That's how you win. That's probably never going to change, right?
That's why Detroit looks really good right now. Man.
They look good, man.
They do. I've got them going. I predicted it last week. We'll see if that happens. Let's move over to the AFC. Okay, so we've got a couple teams in the AFC that are trying to make some runs. We've got the Chiefs. We've got the Bills that are trying to make a run. We've got the Browns that are going to try to make a run. Who do you think is the most dangerous of the bunch right now, Robert?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it earlier, man. The Bills.
The Bills. Okay.
The Bills, man, they're a dangerous team. You know, it's almost sometimes a hit or miss with the Bills, but I've seen them when they can go out there and play 4 quarters of football, and they look like a Super Bowl contender. Yes, I've seen them go out there and just give the game away with turnovers.
Yeah,
they still have a top 10 defense, so they're still going out there playing great defense. It's just if the offense can continue to put up points the way they know how. I would say they have the weapons around it. I think I've noticed at times when some of the weapons don't play football all 4 quarters, where they're taking plays off or not blocking downfield. So all of those factors play into, you winning the game. But if they're hitting on all cylinders, I think the Bills are still a scary team, and they're something to look forward to watching on Sunday.
The Bills have been a much improved team since Brady took over as the offensive coordinator. They're running the ball better. Josh Allen is protecting the ball more. He's not turning the ball over at the alarming rate he was earlier in the season. So they are scary. But I'll tell you who scares me even more than Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills is that Cleveland Browns team and what Joe Flacco.
That's that you took mine. Oh, they're scary.
Tim, the only reason I didn't say the Browns because I don't want to jinx them. I actually have a little cousin that plays for the Browns.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, his name is Cedric Tillman. He's actually Cedric Tillman Jr. Yeah, number 19.
Oh, snap.
And Flacco kind of got on him the other day when he had an end cut going into the end zone, and he didn't run it. He didn't finish his route. He kind of slowed up. So I reached out to his mom, like, hey, you make sure you let him know to finish his routes because that was his touchdown. That would have been his first NFL touchdown. But yeah, man, I'm besides the Lions, Yeah, I'm pulling for those Browns, man. I mean, that defense, it's lights out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And the
they're
way
tough.
Joe Flacco is playing right
Man.
now, you got to give it to him.
It looks
Those
like
guys
old
playing
playoff
defense.
Joe from the Ravens.
Right?
That's what it
And
looks like.
what
He's
a
just
story
fearless.
is. You're old enough, Robert, to know this, to remember this. Brandon, I'm not sure how vivid you would remember this, but the Cleveland Browns in the middle of the night up and left Cleveland and went to Baltimore.
Nope, never
And the
remember it.
Cleveland Browns ceased to exist. And that was
Yes.
bad for the NFL because as a kid, I can remember Bernie Kosar and the Browns playing John Elway and the Broncos in the
Yes.
AFC title game, watching the drive, right? And now the Browns are no longer part of the NFL. So for me, when the Browns came back in, I'm always a fan. If they're playing well, I think that's good for the NFL. When the Browns are good, everything is going good. So I love what they're doing. I love Joe Flacco's taking a nap because it's past his bedtime. But then he comes out and throws 300 yards. He said in the locker room the other day, he doesn't know how much money he's making. He doesn't even know if he's gotten a check yet because he hasn't looked at his bank account. He's like, I'm just here to play football.
That's
all
where
I
he
know.
had. That's what you call effort money.
Yeah.
Right?
You don't even worry about it.
He's just out there
cares?
balling, man.
Check.
Football.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a lot of money at stake for Joe Flacco coming up, and so he's got a lot of incentives. And amongst it says there's a big headline: millions of dollars are at stake
But I can
if
guarantee
he turns
you,
into
Joe,
it.
he could care less because he's getting the opportunity to play football in the NFL,
And his kids
He has
get to see
taken
him.
his team to the playoffs
Mhm.
with a defense that's playing top 3 right now. Well,
Maybe
not
top
number one.
2.
Yeah, top 2 defenses, and
I
that's what he
agree.
had in Baltimore when they won that Super Bowl.
Yep, I
So
told you that,
in his
Tim.
mind,
It looks
he's
very
not counting.
similar.
He's not counting checks. He's not counting dollar signs. He's counting, can he get back to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
That's when he'll get his payday.
Can you imagine
It's
Cleveland
gonna happen.
going to the Super Bowl and they signed a huge contract with Deshaun Watson and he's not their starting quarterback?
That's
Well,
what they're
Joe
hoping.
Can you
Flacco's not gonna-
imagine this? Right? Just picture
That's
this.
what they're
Like,
hoping right now.
what?
So, it's crazy. Listen, we went through the playoff scenarios in last week's QB Huddle, and I ended up with the Buffalo Bills traveling as the 6th seed to the 5th seed Cleveland Browns playing in the AFC title game. And I've got the Bills winning that game just because it's Josh Allen, and I feel like they're due for a Super Bowl. But, man, I would love to see the Browns sneak up in there.
They're going to
I would
kill
love to see
Josh
Joe
Allen,
Flacco in
dog.
the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Pick cities, pick 6, 5. They know how to get turnovers, bro.
That D line, come on.
Yeah.
This coming.
Oh yeah, that
I mean,
defense
that
is
D-line,
real.
Miles
I really
Garrett,
like
man.
those all white unis too. How about those all whites on Thursday night?
Those are sick,
great.
man.
Wow.
Those are sick.
I think maybe
But
those
see-
should be like the all-time uniforms.
But see, we've seen those before. It just happens they're winning now. Now that we looking at them,
right?
oh, the
Oh,
Browns
yeah.
are on. Like, man, the
All
Browns,
right.
man, ain't nobody watching that damn game. Now we're
Oh,
looking like,
man.
oh shit, what they about to do today?
Yeah, what are they? Hey,
And they
It's
don't even have
obviously
Nick Chubb. They don't even have him.
It's going to be a fun playoffs. We know that going into it. Hey, thanks to everybody that is out here watching us and making comments. We see your comments. We appreciate you. Make sure to share, subscribe, and like so you know when our next show is. But we will be live next Tuesday at 8 o'clock with the head coach of the Frisco Fighter Arena team out of IFL, head coach Andre Coles. So now let's go around. I think this is going to be pretty obvious, but let's have fun with it anyway. Let's see who's going to win the game. Let's go around the table. I'll go to you first, Robert, with that big old Lions hat on your head. Who's going to win tonight? And give me the score.
hey,
Give me the score.
28-21.
Oh,
Ooh, is this a last-second drive by Jared Goff, or what's going on here?
Look, it's going to be about 2 or 3 minutes left in the game. They're going to drive the ball down the field with that run, and like I said, a couple of screens to get down the field. Gibbs in the end zone for the touchdown with like 20 seconds left. Game over. Dak can't do it in the last 20 seconds of the game.
Damn.
So, yes, Lions, 28-21. Bring me my chicken, fellas. Bring me my chicken wings.
As long as Tony Pollard doesn't line up at center in those last 20 seconds, I guess we'll be okay. But don't text me if that happens. I will not answer. I will not answer. Brandon, I already know that the hater in you is going to come out, but who do you have?
You don't know nothing. So you can't handle it. So before I get into this, man, I know I got some of my brothers. They're from Mississippi, man, from Dallas. We call them the Dallas-Sippy crew. So they know you very well. They're like,
from Mississippi. You got
yeah,
some
man.
guys from
Chris Anderson. We got Chris Anderson, Renard Collins. We got Darren Christmas. There's a bunch of them from Southern Mississippi, but they've known your career forever. So when I put it in the group, they're like, "Oh man, okay, Robert Kim, man, he was cold, boy. He was cold." So they're shouting you out. It said "The I love." I don't know what that means. The I love.
Hey, that's Jackson.
Okay, man. There you go. The I love. So they're shouting you out. You know, they're showing you love on the show. But I know you're getting love on the show here, and I got to be a little realist here. They're 7-0. They're 7-0 at home, and they average like 40-something points in game, bro.
At home.
And if they get to Jared Goff, it's going to be a nightmare. Now, if you can sustain
who's the backup?
Teddy Bridgewater.
Oh,
he ain't bad. Oh, Teddy Two Glove ain't bad. I see this as a close game, man. Both of you guys got good kickers. I mean, I see this as a real tough game. The only thing I'm going to say, I'm going to lean more towards the Cowboys, man. I'm still concerned about your defense, man, with Aaron Glenn, man. Y'all bend but don't break, but y'all give it away sometimes, right? Y'all did it with Seattle. When you lost to Green Bay, I was like, what's going on?
What are we doing?
Right?
Yes.
We've seen the ugly side. Now, do we see the ugly side? They're on their 2-game win streak. They've clinched the division. The playoffs is in, right? They have cashed their ticket. But I honestly think Dallas is probably going to beat you, man, 31-28.
Oh, wow.
If you win, please do. But my record is strong right now, and I got to go with my gut.
I mean, you would think that as a guy that's sitting in the number 2 seed and with the Lions at number 3, that you would want the Lions to lose. So the please win is kind of exactly opposite of what you actually should want as a 49er fan. So I need your energy to change before 7 o'clock.
I don't give a damn who comes to Santa Clara.
Okay.
Bring it.
Well, listen, this is going to be one of those special types of games. I think this is going to be a game where CeeDee Lamb is going to go crazy. I don't think you have anyone to slow him down. This is going to be a game where Dak Prescott is going to once again look like an elite quarterback and get us all to believe that he is going to get us to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. I just feel like tonight we are going to come out big at home on a Saturday. Cowboys are going to win this game 34-17. And I think the last 7 is a late.
That's touchdown. So disrespectful.
The last 7 is a late.
You know, CD's 3 catches away from breaking Michael Irvin's record.
Here we go. 88 is coming for it tonight.
Jimmy Johnson, right? Is it?
Jimmy Johnson is getting inducted into the Ring of Honor at halftime tonight.
What a way to play spoiler.
Another reason we're going to have the momentum. It's one of the reasons I kind of wanted to go to the game, but we decided to do this show. So I decided not to go to the Cowboys game and be here for you folks here watching the QB Huddle. By the way, Brett Reese is on the show. I don't know who he's talking to. It must be you, Robert. He says he needs his money. That's all.
Those Lions. No, he said I need my money. That was the Russell Wilson one I tested to. But Brees is saying go Lions. Okay. Brees hated my pick with the Cowboys. I get it. I do. And then the other Ella said, "Come on, Kent." So now, gentlemen, I know y'all don't play fantasy. Maybe you do, Kent. I'm not sure.
You know what? I didn't get in this year.
I've got a very tough decision to make. I'm in my Super Bowl right now.
Okay.
And Jared Goff is my quarterback.
Uh-oh.
But I do have Kyler Murray sitting on the bench versus the Eagles' 31st ranked defense. I'm nervous, man, for Jared Goff today. I am. Because I don't know what I'm going to get.
We talked about this the other day. So Kyler Murray is currently on Call of Duty with Bill Belichick. They are both chilling right now. I wouldn't. Yeah. I would play Jared. I would play Jared tonight.
Yeah, you got to play Jared.
If I get 6 points out of this team, look out, man.
Well, then play Kyler. Flip a coin.
So who does Kyler have next week? Who do they play?
They got Philly.
Well, that means tomorrow.
Philly.
In Philly.
That's in Arizona, though, isn't it?
It's in Philly.
Oh, that's even worse then.
But that coach used to be the D coordinator for Philly. Does he have the secrets?
But remember what Aqib said the other day. that the West Coast to East Coast trip is very, very difficult. And the
Yep.
Cardinals are going off after a holiday weekend. You know, they're going all the way over West Coast, East Coast. So take some of that into account.
And
Thanks to what Talib said on the Couch Coach the other night.
I mean, either way, I may lose because I started Amari Cooper when his ass set the bench.
Oh.
I'm 10 points away, gentlemen. Is Goff going to give me 30 points? Yes, sir.
This is our resident fantasy expert,
26.
and you sat down Amari.
That's
Cooper.
all I need, please.
He's going to get you at least 26.
I'm starting him. You heard it first.
Well, folks, we are 1 hour from kickoff, so go get your nachos, your popcorn, your wings if you're Robert Kent. I suppose Brandon loves some wings. He might get some too. I might go get something. My wife just walked in the door, so we're going to get ready for this game tonight. That's going to wrap it up for this special pregame edition of the QB Huddle podcast.
I just sent my daughter into the room. I have one thing that I want to show you guys just to make sure you understand how faithful I am to these Lions.
Oh boy.
I think she's coming.
What you got?
You know, it's just when you have a cup and you're pouring an ice cold beverage, you always have to make sure you're sitting down with the team that you represent.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my wife is holding her up in there.
What's going on?
What is that? She didn't grab the wrong cup. She grabbed my JSU cup. I have a Lions glass that I'll be
a good one.
The big one. Lions glass that I'll be sipping my bourbon out of today. Once we get this win. So Tim,
what's going to be in the glass? Oh, the bourbon. Is that what you said?
Yes, sir. Some Woodford.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
You're going to need it. You might need a couple glasses.
Yeah, a victory, pre-victory, and a victory glass. I look forward to it.
Okay, I feel that. Well, we appreciate you being loyal. I don't know why you're still a Lions fan living in Dallas, but do you whatever you need to do. I love it. I don't hate on the Lions, right? My daughter lives in Michigan. She was on the show. She was watching the show tonight. She said go Lions.
Yeah,
I'm from Chicago, so I have to dislike the Lions, but I do love Hutch. So let's hope he doesn't go off tonight. That could be dangerous.
Tonight, they're in trouble.
They're in trouble. So I'm going to do this one more time. We are an hour from kickoff now, about 59 minutes or so.
Ass.
Quiet, Brandon. That's going to do it for the special pregame edition of the QB Huddle podcast. Please like, subscribe, and share. Join us this coming Tuesday, 8 o'clock, right here on YouTube at QB Huddle, when we have another special guest, the head coach of the Frisco Fighters IFL Pro Arena team, Andre Coles. For Brandon Newey, Robert Kent, thank you so much for taking the time.
Appreciate it, brother.
I'm We'll see you guys Tuesday, and go Cowboys.